Hey, welcome to a segment we call Sylvie Answering Interesting Questions. The interesting question I got today was posted on Facebook on a photo that Kevin took of me when I was doing like an at-home workout. So when I work out at home, I wear a weighted vest. I actually wear the weighted vest doing chores around the house as well. So I basically was just skipping rope with it. And then I did like some body weight and some actual like with weights, lunges, squats kind of stuff at home. And so Sean asked on my Facebook page, he'd be interested to know how I find weight vests to be beneficial versus harmful. And I thought this was an interesting question because at first I was like, if I thought they were harmful, I wouldn't wear them. But then there are things that I wouldn't use it for. So I guess I'm taking this question of in what ways do I find them helpful versus harmful and kind of tweaking it to what I would and wouldn't use a weight vest for. So what I would use a weight vest for is kind of lighter workout kind of stuff. It's basically a way to take something that would be pretty easy and put a handicap on it to make it harder. So for example, I wear my weighted vest when I'm doing housework. So if I'm sweeping and mopping the floor, cleaning the kitchen, watering outside, like this kind of stuff, like when I'm doing stuff around the house, I put my weighted vest on basically just to kind of make it a little bit harder. So I get a little bit of a like stamina increase out of that. I've heard of people wearing weighted vests just walking around all day as a way to kind of like turn anything into a little bit of an exercise. So when I'm doing stuff at home, like if I'm skipping rope or something, why I would wear a weight vest is that I wouldn't wear it on like my 10-kilometer run in the morning, but if I can't do my 10-kilometer run for whatever reason, I'm going to do like 3K, I'd put the weighted vest on in order to like amp that up kind of thing. I have two different kinds of weighted vests actually. The first one I had brought from America when my friend Pim went home, and then when she flew back, she put it in her luggage for me, which is really nice because it's heavy. It's a different kind. Basically, this first weighted vest I have it kind of comes over like a crossing guards penny or something, and then it's got all these slots in it so you can put 1-pound weights in it or take them out, so you can adjust the weight on that vest, and it can get quite heavy. I think that the total is like, I don't know, 15 pounds or something like this. It can get pretty heavy. So that was the first one I had, and I didn't put all the weights in it at once because I actually only weigh 100 pounds, so I don't need that much of a like increase on anything that I'm doing. But I was wearing it on when I was doing bag work, and I was wearing it in shadow, basically for the same purposes that people will wear, will hold like little 1-pound weights or like those little iron eggs, like when you're shadow boxing, and then you throw those out and then you shadow box without them and you like feel all light. It's like if you put weights on your ankles and like do some exercises and then you take them off and you're like, oh wow, now I'm so free. It's kind of like that. So I was using the weighted vest as a way to like increase my stamina as like a small little thing that I could do while I was doing bag work and shadow and stuff like that I would be doing anyway. The second weight vest that I got is sand, so you can't take anything out of it. Like it weighs what it weighs, and that's what it is. I believe it's about 11 pounds. I think it's 5 kilos. So that's the one I wear when I'm just doing stuff around the house. That's the one I was wearing today. 11 pounds is actually pretty significant. It's 11% of my weight. I feel it. Like if I'm carrying it in my hands, it feels really heavy. When I put it on, it's not that bad. So I find that a weighted vest is beneficial, or why I would wear it is basically to take something that would be more or less easy and make it harder. So if I can do 10 push-ups and it's not that hard, it's harder to do 10 push-ups with a weighted vest. So it's a little bit of a like handicap in terms of like if you have a short workout window, or if you're doing something that's kind of lighter in terms of repetition, or in terms of like if you're like walking your dog, or going for a shorter run, or just grocery shopping, I don't know, or if you're just going to do like 20 push-ups instead of 50 push-ups or something like that, the weighted vest is just a way to kind of like tack that up. And what I like about it is that because it's like, because it just makes all movements a little bit harder, being light on your feet when you weigh 11 pounds more than you normally would, it kind of teaches you to be a little bit more powerful when you then take that off and you have that power built in for the weight that you actually are. I wouldn't wear a weight vest when you're going to do something really that's already difficult for you. So if it's hard for me to do 50 push-ups, I would not wear a weighted vest to do 50 push-ups. I wouldn't wear the weighted vest in pad work because it can be a little bit cumbersome in your actual movements. I actually got this gross chafing rash hickey from my weighted vest today when I was skipping rope. I can skip rope for 5 rounds and it's like nothing, but wearing the weighted vest, I was sweating a lot more than I normally would be. And it just kind of was like rubbing on my collarbone. I haven't really done this before, so I've learned this lesson now that I need to cover it or like put some Vaseline or tape maybe the vest itself. But so another way that I wouldn't use the vest is to do something like sparring or pad work where it kind of like it impinges on my flow or my movement. If I'm only going to do like 2 rounds and they're going to be slow and I'm going to kind of like work on slower movement or something like that, then maybe I would wear the weight vest. I had toyed with the idea when I was sparring with Yod Kumpan a few months into it. I was toying with the idea of wearing the weighted vest for the first couple of rounds to like really tire myself out to get to fatigue faster, because sparring with him every day, an hour of sparring, while it's emotionally very difficult, has become less physically difficult than it was at the beginning, but we're doing the same amount of time. So instead of extending the time to making it like, okay, now an hour is easier, so let's do an hour and a half, I could try to like wear the weighted vest for the first 3 or 4 rounds and wear myself out faster to get to that point. That would be like round 6 is now at round 3 or something. So you're kind of extending it that way. So that's another way to kind of cheat with the weighted vest. I would not wear a weighted vest if I was working on, if I had any kind of like small injury, like if my knee was hurting or if my ankle wasn't working the way that I wanted it to, I wouldn't wear a weighted vest during that time, because the extra weight, your body's not used to it. The extra weight might throw you off in ways that you're not entirely used to, and you might actually like exacerbate a problem that you already have. So I wouldn't wear it while injured. And I wouldn't wear it for something that I'm trying to, if I'm not already comfortable with something, I wouldn't wear the weighted vest doing it. So like if I'm trying to figure out my balance on a teep and I don't have it yet, I wouldn't wear a weighted vest while trying to figure that out. I'd figure it out first, become pretty comfortable and proficient at it, and then put the weighted vest on in order to kind of like handicap it and make it harder that way. I don't think that weighted vests are dangerous or harmful in any way. The way they would be harmful is if you're wearing them and it's distorting your form to the point where like doing things that way is a problem. I've heard people talk about like not shadowboxing with weights because it can like hurt your joints and things like this. Sure, don't do like 30 minutes of weighted shadowboxing, but I don't think that 1 round or 2 rounds and then putting them away and like feeling the speed or anything like that is going to do any kind of significant meaningful damage to you in any way. But if it's something that you don't like, if you feel like it's distorting your form or you feel like it's causing you joint pains or something like that, don't do it. Like you don't have to wear a weight vest. You don't have to shadow box with weights, but those are the times that I would, those are the times I wouldn't, and those are the ways that I find them beneficial. So if you guys would like to hear me answer other interesting questions, you can check out the playlist of Sylvie answering interesting questions. I also have a series of technique vlogs where I talk about things that I'm working on in my own training that sometimes cover things like this, like introducing, now I'm starting to use a weight vest, or a particular move that I learned from a legend in the Muay Thai library that I'm integrating into my training, and kind of what I'm discovering with it as I'm working on it, stuff like that. I hope you guys enjoy this, and if you're interested in doing housework with a weight vest so that you hate it more than normal, but you're getting something out of it, get it from me.